Our next story, Tucker Carlson and Glenn Greenwald discuss Biden's bone-chilling attempt to ignite World War III. We're watching the most evil thing I have ever seen in my life, originally published on thegatewaypundit.com. As the Gateway Pundit reported earlier, Joe Biden and his handlers are moving quickly to ignite World War III before Christmas and before President Trump can be inaugurated and bring peace to the region. On Sunday, Joe Biden's regime approved Ukraine's use of U.S.-made long-range missiles to strike deep inside Russia. The Washington Post reported that Biden now will allow Ukraine to use a powerful American long-range weapon for strikes inside of the territory of the Russian Federation, supposedly in response to North Korea's recent aid to Russia in the form of thousands of troops. Ukraine will be specifically allowed to use the Army tactical missile systems at ATACMS or ATACMS, I don't know how to pronounce that hit Russian targets inside. Now, the rockets are supersonic guided missile systems that can be used with either cluster munitions or conventional warheads. It has a maximum range of about 190 miles. Now, the Post elaborated that Ukraine fired 6 U.S.-made long-range missiles into Russia, most of which were shot down. Now, going along just today, Russia obviously fired long-range supersonic missiles as well right back into Ukraine, so this is not good. Joe Biden approved anti-personnel landmines for Ukraine as well, undoing his previous policy. Now, we have this conversation to show you between Tucker Carlson. It's quite riveting. Check this out.
I think we're watching the most evil thing I've ever seen in my lifetime, which is the lame duck administration leaving the next administration with the world war, with the nuclear conflict, by allowing Ukraine, a proxy state of the United States, to strike within Russia. I think that people in Washington misunderstand Vladimir Putin, and they think he's a monarch with absolute power, which is not true. And Russian politics is complex and it's lively, and Putin is very concerned with his approval rating within Russia. He cannot appear weak. That's a huge threat to him. He feels that, I can confirm. If he can't hide attacks on him by the United States through Ukraine, either on Moscow or big civilian casualties, I think he will have no choice, in his view, but to launch like a serious response against Ukraine or NATO countries, or possibly the United States. It seems like the most reckless thing that's ever happened in my life.
For Joe Biden, or whoever's acting in his name, to do this just 2 weeks after the country resoundingly rejected governance by the Democratic Party in the administration, and on his way out as an 81-year-old man, knowing that he has about 6 weeks left in office, to just say, I know that these are massive risks, but I'm willing to take them. I'm 81. I don't really care. And then to make it so much more difficult for the following administration to do what they promised to do during the campaign, which the American people voted for and wanted, which is to resolve this war. Instead, we're risking escalation with the world's largest superpower, nuclear power, over what?
Yeah, over what? That's a good question. Well, obviously, it's over a resounding F you to Trump and his administration. You know, these individuals that are in power are truly maniacal and definitely intentionally destructive and evil. It's not really a surprise on what Biden's trying to do, but I don't think it's Biden. It's the military-industrial complex saying, we're in charge. If we want to continue to war, we will continue to go to war, right? Trump, you're not going to stop our money pit. You think that they're going to let Trump, particularly, stop his money grab? These people are making trillions of dollars on these conflicts, and they're not about ready to give that up. Obviously, we don't like it, but it is the way that it is. Now, that being said, I want to remind you guys that the October 15th deadline is passed. And are you prepared for what's coming next? Do you owe back taxes? Are your tax returns still unfiled? Missed the deadline to file for an extension? Well, now that October 15th is behind us, the IRS may be ramping up enforcement. You could face wage garnishments, frozen bank accounts, or even property seizures if you haven't taken action yet. But there's still hope. Tax Network USA has helped taxpayers save over $1 billion in tax debt and has filed over 10,000 tax returns. They specialize in helping people like you reduce their tax burdens, and they can help you too. Don't wait any longer. Visit tnusa.com/VNN or call 1-800-958-1000 for a free consultation. Their experts will help you through a few simple questions to see how much that you can save. Act now before the IRS takes a more aggressive step. Take control today at tnusa.com/VNN or call 1-800-958-1000.